Michael Jordan, aka MJ, LeBron James, aka the King. Wow, is this the oldest debate topic there is in all of sports or what? This is Sports Guy Talking that you guys are watching and listening to. I am Dustin Tran, your host, as I am here today to talk about the GOAT debate between Michael Jordan and LeBron James. With LeBron James entering year 21 of his NBA career, the GOAT debate has been far from settled down. Ultimately, this is a topic that will make many people passionate for either side of the debate. Before I say anything else though, I want to present you guys with a topic question. So here it is. Who's the GOAT, Michael Jordan or LeBron James? And for the people that have followed me in the past about basketball, you guys know what I'm going to say. Obviously, the answer is Michael Jordan, aka MJ. MJ is obviously the GOAT over LeBron James. There are so many reasons why Michael Jordan is the GOAT and why LeBron James is not the GOAT. And before I go out and explain my reasons, I want to make sure that I'm making myself clear that I am not hating on LeBron James whatsoever. LeBron James is a fantastic NBA player. On the court, he is one of the greatest athletes ever, if not the greatest athlete to have ever played the game of basketball. Obviously, what he's done longevity wise has been extremely impressive, and obviously he won 4 championships on 3 different teams. That's also pretty good on the part of LeBron James. When LeBron James's NBA career is done, he is definitely a top 3 player of all time. If you don't want to go top 3, you can go top 5 all time. I don't really care either way though. LeBron James is an all-time great player, but as far as whether or not he's the GOAT, heck no. Michael Jordan is the GOAT. It's clear as day. I have several reasons to explain why Michael Jordan is better than LeBron James. Let's go ahead and get this started. So my first reason for why MJ is better than LeBron James when it comes to all time is because Michael Jordan was just a flat out better scorer and a better shooter than LeBron. Just look at the scoring titles. Michael Jordan won 10 scoring titles. Can you imagine that? Winning 10 scoring titles. That's a lot of scoring titles, man. And LeBron James has only won 1 scoring title. Now, as far as jump shooting, Michael Jordan is a better jump shooter than LeBron James. And I know some people might start whipping out the percentages and might say, oh, MJ, he wasn't really that good of a jump shooter. His percentages are too low. But you have to remember the era that Michael Jordan played in. Michael Jordan played in a way more physical era than LeBron James ever did. And also, you have to remember in today's NBA, shooting is more encouraged than ever. Back in MJ's heyday, it was all about attacking the paint and being more physical than the opponent. Nowadays, it's all about scoring, scoring, and then scoring. Offense, offense, offense. Defense doesn't really matter the way that it once did back in the day. And my second reason for why Michael Jordan is better than LeBron James all time is because of the fact that Michael Jordan, he played in a far superior era. Don't let the mainstream media fool you that LeBron James is playing in tougher competition and that he's playing against the toughest stars in the NBA. Look at MJ's Bulls. They defeated 7 60-plus win teams, a record for a dynasty team in a decade, and they also beat 20 teams that had between 50 to 59 wins. When you talk about competition, man, Michael Jordan had it all over the place. You look at the 80s, you look at the 90s. Wow, did MJ have to overcome multiple teams of competition. And then, of course, you have to look at the fact that 27 of the 37 playoff opponents that Jordan had faced had over 50 wins. I mean, that is an incredible stat in and of itself. When you have that much of tough competition year in and year out, I mean, wow, that is going to be definitely something to overcome. LeBron James hasn't had anything close to dealing with that minus the NBA Finals. Obviously, Michael Jordan had an easier NBA Finals road to championship than LeBron James did in the finals, but it's not like MJ was playing against trash teams in the NBA Finals. They were playing against credible teams in the NBA Finals. Heck, if MJ didn't exist, the Utah Jazz might be looked at as a 2-time champion, and we might be talking about Karl Malone and John Stockton in an entirely different way. So that's just one way you can look at it. So obviously, you got to say MJ, he's the GOAT in that department. And then you also have to look at the fact that MJ, he's a far superior defender to LeBron James. He's a far better defender than LeBron. And I got the facts to back that up. You look at the fact that MJ, he made all defense first team 9 times. LeBron, he's only been there 5 times. I'm not saying LeBron James can't play defense, but when you compare him to Michael Jordan, it's not even close. Michael Jordan is the far superior defender to LeBron. I get that LeBron is more athletic. I get that LeBron is great at rim protection, but as far as perimeter defense goes, Michael Jordan is freaking better than LeBron James. It's not even a debate about it. Now, you want to talk about steal titles? MJ's owned LeBron in that area too. Michael Jordan is a 3-time winner. LeBron James has never led the NBA in steals. And of course, Michael Jordan won 1988 Defensive Player of the Year. LeBron James has never won Defensive Player of the Year. Could you imagine being the best player in the NBA as well as winning Defensive Player of the Year? I mean, how dominant do you have to be to win that, especially as a shooting guard during that time? Because you have to remember, in 1988, this was a big oriented league, and for Michael Jordan to win that award during that time, wow, how incredible is that? Now, my fourth reason for why Michael Jordan is better than LeBron James is because of the mentality. MJ simply takes over games and he's able to lift his team when needed. Obviously, LeBron James, he can do that to an extent, but he can't do it on the level of Michael Jordan. LeBron James does not have killer instinct in him. Michael Jordan has killer instinct in him, and honestly, it's not replicable. No NBA player can be able to replicate Michael Jordan when it comes to killer instinct. The closest one in terms of being able to copy his killer instinct was Kobe Bryant, but you look at the mentality that Michael Jordan had. Wow, what an incredible leader Michael Jordan is. Michael Jordan was able to elevate his teammates year in and year out, and LeBron James, on the other hand, yeah, he can elevate teammates to an extent, but he's not going to elevate his team the way that Michael Jordan can. LeBron James has to always team hop all the time, and I don't have a problem with people who team hop all the time. You just can't be the GOAT when you're constantly team hopping all the time. I get that in Cleveland, he didn't have help the first time, but why did you leave that Miami Heat team in 2014? Why did you leave that Cleveland team in 2018? Why is it that every time you lose, you always have to stack the deck and get as many all-stars as possible? Michael Jordan never had to rely on that. And then also another reason why I have MJ being better than LeBron all time is the fact that MJ is a better closer than LeBron. I mean, you want to talk about playoff game winners in terms of 25 seconds or less, MJ is a better closer than LeBron. The facts literally support that point. You want to talk about playoff game winners with 25 seconds or less, MJ 53% from the field, LeBron James 35%. Now you want to talk about finals game winners / game tires with 25 seconds or less, Michael Jordan owns LeBron James in that department. LeBron James has never made an NBA Finals game winner or game tying shot with 25 seconds or less in the NBA Finals. LeBron is 0 for 6 in that department. Michael Jordan, on the other hand, 4 of 8. When you talk about being more clutch on the biggest stage, Michael Jordan is obviously better than LeBron James. That goes back to having the killer mindset. MJ has a killer mindset compared to LeBron James, so obviously that's another reason why MJ is better than LeBron. Now, another reason why I want to state that Michael Jordan is better than LeBron James all time is because of the era that Michael Jordan played in. MJ's era was far more physical. LeBron James would not have had as much success if he had played in the 80s and 90s because the NBA was simply more physical back then, and the bad boy Pistons were a real thing. The bad boy Pistons were one of the most physical teams in NBA history. I don't see how LeBron James is going to last through that. I know that he's a really big guy, but mentally speaking, that would have been very taxing for him. If he got worn out by the 2007 Spurs, if he got worn out by the 2011 Mavericks, how is he going to last against the bad boy Pistons? All right, the bad boy Pistons were extremely physical in that era, and you also have to remember that back in the day, you could actually foul jump shooters. If you were a defender and a guy took a jump shot, you could literally stand in the shooting space, and if he fell down, oh well, move on. Nowadays, you touch a guy by the arm, oh, it's a foul. Oh my God, we gotta call it a flagrant foul. So obviously, you look at LeBron James, he plays in a far easier era. His era is extremely less physical compared to the previous era that Michael Jordan was a part of. So that's just part of it as well. And then another thing that you guys need to know about Michael Jordan is that MJ never got outscored by a player on the bench in the finals. LeBron James got outscored by Jason Terry in the 2011 finals. MJ would have never lost that 2011 finals. Now, of course, LeBron has never had to defeat 3 teams with 50 wins or 2 wins with 60 wins in any playoff run. I know he obviously took down the 73-win Warriors team. That's a fantastic job for what LeBron James did, but context matters because Draymond Green got suspended for Game 5 and Kyrie Irving saved him in Game 7 of the 2016 finals. Obviously, what LeBron James did overcoming that 3-1 deficit, it's fantastic, but trust me, Michael Jordan could have done the same thing as well. To put things into context for why I just stayed for the statistic about LeBron James in terms of defeating 3 teams with 50 wins or 2 teams with 60 wins in any playoff run, Michael Jordan did that in 5 of his 6 playoff runs. So that is obviously incredible. And then, of course, MJ shows up in the 4th quarter while LeBron disappears. Chosen one turned frozen one in the 2011 NBA Finals. If Michael Jordan plays in that finals, they win the finals, plain and simple. Now, you want to talk about another reason why Michael Jordan is better than LeBron James? Quite frankly, if you don't like statistics, if you don't like me blabbling my mouth about stats, well, let's talk about eye test. MJ clearly passes the eye test in a big game. If you need to score and momentum isn't going your way, you don't want LeBron, who's going to defer more often than not and hope for a teammate to make a shot. LeBron James tries too hard to make the right play. Michael Jordan, on the other hand, he's going to find a way to make sure that a bucket's going to get through. You want MJ, who's going to find a way to score even against a defensive player of the year when it has to go in. When Michael Jordan has to going tough, he's going to find a way to make sure that it's going to work. As for LeBron James, he's going to quit on his team and he's going to ask to build a super team around him. And when you watch MJ play, you can clearly tell that he is better than LeBron James when when it comes to under pressure situations. If you don't believe me, you can go ahead and watch The Last Dance. And if you truly don't believe that, well, you're just not being objective with Michael Jordan. I'm sorry. You're just not being objective with him whatsoever. I'm not even an MJ homer. I don't have a dog in this fight, but Michael Jordan is clearly better than LeBron James when it comes to the biggest games. He passes the eye test compared to LeBron James. Now, another reason why Michael Jordan is better than LeBron James is because of the fact that if Michael Jordan is healthy, his teams go to the playoffs every freaking year. Even though MJ's teams were awful from 1985 to 1987, guess what? The Chicago Bulls made it to the playoffs every single time, even when Jordan missed the 86 season. Now, I will say that in the 1986 season, the NBA had a huge problem when it came to having strong competition in the Eastern Conference. The Eastern Conference was a joke during the 1986 season in terms of top to bottom. It was entirely way too top heavy. But the point is, MJ made the playoffs every single year when he was healthy, when he was on the Chicago Bulls. I know he didn't make it when he was on the Washington Wizards, but that was basically a glorified retirement party for Michael Jordan. Now, as far as LeBron, he missed the playoffs in his first two seasons in 2004 and 2005. He also missed the playoffs in 2022 when he formed that super team of LeBron, AD, and Russell Westbrook. So obviously, when you look at it from that perspective, Jordan is far more likely to make the playoffs than LeBron James when it comes to career-wise. Now, obviously, I know that MJ and LeBron, they've had different situations, so I'm not going to focus too much more on that. Now, as far as help, there seems to be a misconception that MJ formed those super teams on the Chicago Bulls, but that's simply not true. Michael Jordan only played with one all-star teammate during the seasons that he played on that team. That only all-star was Scottie Pippen. He made the all-star game in 1990, then he made it from 1992 to 1997. What is my point with this story? My point with this story is that Michael Jordan never played on a big three team. He never had all-stars littered all over the place. Now, as far as LeBron, he had the big three in Miami. He had the big three in Cleveland. He had Anthony Davis on the Lakers. LeBron James has had several all-star teammates throughout his career. Too many to even list. I don't even really want to say more about that because I think it speaks for itself. MJ had less help than LeBron James when it comes to supporting cast. MJ might have had better role players, but as far as stars, LeBron James had more help in that department. And you also have to remember that MJ has a higher peak than LeBron James. When you talk about GOAT discussion, you want to talk about people who have reached the top of the mountain multiple times, and Michael Jordan did that. He won 6 titles, and not only did he win 6 titles, he won 6 finals MVPs. I mean, wow, does that impress you or what? Michael Jordan three-peated not once, but twice. You guys know how hard it is to three-peat in sports in general, and for Michael Jordan to do that not once, but twice, wow, absolutely incredible. Obviously, LeBron James never did that. I know he made the 8 straight NBA Finals. That's a great feat in and of itself, but to be able to three-peat not once, but twice, that's far more impressive than going to 8 straight NBA Finals. He simply achieved a higher peak than LeBron James ever did because you play sports to what? To win championships, and that's exactly what Michael Jordan did. And you also have to look at the fact that MJ was an icon in sports industry. When we talk about GOAT discussions, you have to include off the court, you have to include marketing, you have to include the fact how he impacted the league. Now, Michael Jordan had this going for him. When he was a player, TV ratings peaked during the MJ era. You don't believe me? You can check out the statistics for that. Now, the LeBron era has experienced some of the lowest TV ratings in the NBA Finals. I remember one of the worst rated finals ever was in the 2007 Finals, and another horrible one that he had was the 2020 NBA Finals. That was the one where he played in the bubble. I know some people are going to say, oh, what about the 2015, 2016 Finals where they did really well? But honestly, that was more of the fact that people cared about the Golden State Warriors more so than the fact that LeBron James was in the finals. To put it simply, Michael Jordan represented the NBA better than LeBron James ever did. I don't really think that's even much of a debate. And then you want to look at the other talking point that I have for Michael Jordan, my 15th and final reason. MJ was a better performer in the NBA Finals. I don't really care about opponents all that much. I don't think LeBron James would have gone 6-0 in the NBA Finals if he were on the 90s Bulls. He would not have beaten the 91 Lakers team because that Lakers team had too many legends, and that would have been too hard for him to overcome because LeBron James had to overcome some hurdles mentally speaking. He couldn't even beat the 2007 Spurs. I know that Spurs team was really good, and I know that Cavaliers team in 2007 was not that good whatsoever, but what about that 2011 Finals? What about that Finals against the Dallas Mavericks? That was not a super team. All these people act like, oh my god, Dirk Nowitzki, he's this all-time great player. I'm not saying he's not a great player, but Dirk Nowitzki is not on the level of Magic Johnson. He's not on the level of Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, okay? So obviously, LeBron James would not have won the 91 NBA Finals, but let's say he did, so what? He's at the same level as Michael Jordan anyways. Now, LeBron James, though, he probably would have gone 5-1 best case when I look at his finals matchups. I'm not even sure if he's going to be able to do that. Now, look, I want to say that if MJ was in LeBron's shoes, MJ would not have gone 10-0 and undefeated in the NBA Finals either. There would have been a blemish on his record. He would have probably gone 5-5 or 6-4 in the NBA Finals. LeBron James did have to play against some tough opponents in the NBA Finals. I mean, having to go up against the super team Warriors, or when he wasn't going up against the Super Team Warriors. He really did not have rosters that were all that strong anyways, but I hold LeBron accountable for the 2011 NBA Finals and the 2014 NBA Finals. Michael Jordan would have won either of those finals. If he would have won those finals, combined with the fact that LeBron James already won 4 of those finals, which I believe Michael Jordan would have done anyways, that would have put Michael Jordan at 6-4 in the finals. So that puts MJ at 6 rings. I think MJ got more out of his career than LeBron James did. When I look at it like that, that means Michael Jordan is the GOAT to me. I rest my case. Michael Jordan is obviously the GOAT. I'm taking MJ over LeBron. So that's why Michael Jordan is the GOAT, as he has a better argument for that compared to LeBron James. Remember, go ahead and subscribe to Sports Guy Talking. Like the video and please comment down below. If you guys do that, I may shout you guys out in my Instagram story every Monday. That'll be for the @Dustin Tran Instagram account. Make sure to follow me on Instagram @Dustin Tran and @Sports Guy Talking. Also, go follow me on Twitter @Dustin Tran. Again, go ahead and do those things that I just told you guys to go do. Hopefully, you guys enjoyed the content that was just produced. Peace out. I hope you enjoyed that video. Want more Sports Guy Talking, the home of great sports content? Make sure you click that subscribe button to get the latest from Sports Guy Talking. Go ahead and like the video. Comment down below. Check the description box on the video in order to follow my Instagram and Twitter. Also, be sure to check out more of the best clips from the YouTube channel, Sports Guy Talking.